We doing everything they talk about. You know I'm everything a boss about. Not putting work and gotta toss them out. I'm really biting, they just barking out. I'm really riding, they just parking now. His street, what to talk about. See the big H when I'm walking out.
Hey, before we start the show, I just want to say thank you all for tuning in. Subscribe to the channel, drop a comment, share the video with a friend. This is Base Coverage, and we talk European League of Football.
Hey, well, welcome back, everyone. Thank you all for tuning in per usual. As you heard in the intro, subscribe to that channel, drop a comment, like the video, share with a friend, and let's keep these conversations rolling. Hey, it's game week. It's game week, and we're getting another day closer to week 1 in the ELF. Get ready to kick this thing off. Season 4 is definitely going to be an exciting one. And I had to bring on this one guy. And if you know anything about me and the team I represent, but the team I root for in ELF, there's an old adage called "keep your friends close, but your enemies closer." So, with that being said, I had to bring on my guy, Dominque Shelton, into the mix as the Helvetic Mercenaries are playing the Barcelona Dragons. But I wanted to chop it up with my guy here. So what's going on, brother? How's everything going?
Good. How about yourself? Thank you for having me.
Yeah, most definitely. It's been a minute, man. I mean, we had you in the league a couple years ago playing with the Raiders and the Thunder. Then obviously that year off, you were in Italy for a little bit. But yeah. How's it feel to be back? How's it feel, to be in Barcelona and heading into like your second year in the ELF?
To sum it all up, it feels right. I feel like I deserve to be in the league, and I'm gonna prove that I deserve to be in the league, despite obviously my dad being the head coach of the Barcelona Dragons. So that's my main goal, to prove myself as well as proving the team. I feel like this is the year changing the narrative for myself and the Barcelona Dragons. So I'm happy to be a part of that.
Absolutely, man. And kudos to you, even if your dad not being the coach, you definitely deserve to be in this league. And obviously you're a talent. You're one of the top corners when you did play with the Raiders in Berlin. I want to go back to like that time real quick. And obviously, you were with the Raiders for a little bit, got released and then picked up from Berlin. But that overall experience, obviously it was the second year in the league, but for you personally, what did you learn from that experience that you're going to carry over into your second stint in the ELF?
Everything ain't promised, and everything glitter ain't gold.
Yeah,
I felt like when I got released from the Raiders, I was definitely at a low point in my life when that happened, and when I got the news broke to me a couple weeks before my last 2 games there, and I always feel like a good things happen to good people. I'm not saying I'm a perfect person, but Berlin picking me up was definitely a blessing, and I always love them for that, because them picking me up, that kind of got me out that dark hole I was in when the Raiders released me. And that was the best thing. Honestly, that was the best thing that ever happened to me when Berlin Thunder picked me up.
Could have been a blessing in disguise.
Man, for real.
So when we look back on that, and now fast forward a couple years later, we signed with the Barcelona Dragons, a team that a team that really doesn't get its flowers, so to say. Obviously they had that one good year, and they have a tremendous fan base, but obviously we heard a little bit about some issues financially, like in the past with old management and the talent and skill set. My question for you is, outside of the fact that it's new management and we got your pops as the head guy, why was Barcelona the good fit for you?
I feel like Barcelona was a good fit for me because, just like everybody, the guys that stayed, the imports that we brought in, American and European, we all got a chip on our shoulder, and we all want to prove ourselves, like to the league and just to all the naysayers, and honestly to ourselves. I feel like, and that's the best, and I feel like the best team to do that at is here. You feel me? Like, I feel like that's the best. This is the best opportunity to do it.
Most definitely. I love Barcelona. I love the team. I love the guys down there. Obviously, you're in the room with big Jordi Brugnani, who's hilarious. The mantra for you guys, and one thing about you guys is no one really knew like who Barcelona really was, because you guys are kind of moving silently this offseason. Obviously, you made signs just like everyone else, but it wasn't like flashy or anything like that. Not saying that you didn't get any top quality guys. But it just seems like people were wondering, like, what is Barcelona doing this year? But the mantra this year is brick by brick, right? And
Yes.
I love it because you think brick by brick, just go to work, make sure blue collar every day. You do what you got to do to put the grind in. Now we're heading into week one. How, when you look back on it, how do you feel you guys are coming out of camp now heading into week one, and obviously just moving at your own pace and your own I guess wave, so to say, not really abiding by or really caring what we think.
I feel like the main thing what the organization was preaching to us, like, we're not trying to win the social media battle, because on Sundays, that's all, that Instagram ain't gonna win it, Twitter not gonna win it, etc. So they preached that early to us off the jump. Management did, and I feel like in the brick by brick slogan, I feel like just getting better every day, no matter how it is, if it's weight room, film, practice, conditioning, everything in between that and around that, like every single day, no matter what, just get better in something. And I feel like as a team and as a staff, as a management, we've been doing that to the to the T. I feel like everyone's bought in, and I feel like that's half the battle. To be honest, we just got to put it all together on Sundays.
Yeah, I feel like it's like a sneaky energy you guys are kind of like brewing, and it's starting to kind of like feel a little bit. Maybe that's also game week, but like obviously your perception, our perception, everyone's perception of Barcelona prior. Now you're in the mix. What do you not being there obviously the previous year, but what do you feel is different when you're speaking with the homegrown guys or the organization, or you're around the fans? What do you feel is different around the organization this year?
I feel like the energy's there. Like the homegrown guys that stayed. The cancers that left, they left. And I feel like that, what I've heard here and there, is everyone that stayed, and everyone wanted to leave, left. And I felt like that played a big part of last year on why we weren't successful as a team, even though I wasn't here. Yeah. And I feel like when everyone's bought in 110%, everyone works hard, it's hard to be denied.
Yeah, absolutely. And, and you mentioned guys left, and the reason why they left is the ELF. We have another team in Spain, in Madrid, and those in Barcelona, those in Madrid, those in Europe know about the Madrid-Barcelona rivalry, El Clasico soccer, however you want to phrase it. And you guys got them week 2. I'm pretty sure. Are you guys home or are they home?
They're at home.
They're home. So you guys got them week 2 in Madrid for their home opener, which is going to be exciting. For me, I've been waiting for this matchup ever since I heard Madrid was going to come about. But could this potentially be one of the top rivalries in Europe, Barcelona, Madrid?
Most definitely.
Yeah.
Most definitely. Just because guys left, all that here and there, but Madrid and Barcelona are so close, and you know how the inner, just like how Frankfurt is with Rhine Fire, Austria is with Vienna. I feel like we're right up there with them with the rivalry.
Yeah. Yeah, and there's a history to it, not with just these two teams, but the cities in general.
Yeah.
But pivoting a little bit, when talking about the Barcelona Dragons, there's been a lot of hype around one particular man at quarterback, and that's Mr. Levi Lewis up there. Talk to me about him in camp. How's he doing? Like, what makes him? One, do you think he'll live up to the hype? That might be a rhetorical question. Obviously, you're probably gonna say he is. But what is it about his game that makes him, the type of quarterback he is?
Besides his fantastic resume, he's a great person off the field as well. And on the field, he leads the guys. He makes sure everyone's getting better down from the first string to the third string. And he's honestly a perfect leader, not for just the offense, for the entire team. Because he's been there before in the hard-fought battles. Everything. And I just feel like him leading our team with the guys that we got, Euro guys, our A-spot receiver, Amani Donadale, I feel like we can really make something shake.
Speaking of your receiver too, because I feel like he's not getting no attention. How's he been in camp? How's he performing? What type of receiver is he, or that we're gonna see this Saturday?
I feel like our offense is honestly looked down upon because quote unquote O-line struggles, guys leaving. To sum it all up, I say get your popcorn ready for our offense.
Get the popcorn ready. What's the battle been like between you and him in camp?
Oh, definitely lethal. Definitely lethal.
Yeah.
Even though that's my best friend, of course, but like in between those lines, we aren't friends. Like, and I just feel like that's how it should be. I feel like me and him bringing that competitive energy, Levi bringing that competitive energy, the guys that have already been here bringing that competitive energy, that everyone feeds off that. Like I feed off him, Levi feeds off us, etc. Like we feed off the homegrown guys. It's like all like a big pot brewing for something special.
Yeah, and and it's gonna be exciting to watch you guys this Saturday. And let's dive into that a little bit because obviously, I got a lot of respect for you, cool and everything, but I can't be friends with you on Saturday.
Facts.
I can't be rooting for you on Saturday. But whenever you're playing a team week one, and in Europe, every team is almost a new team because of how the all season and contracts are constructed. What from what you know about, I guess, personnel for the mercenaries, or what you might get. Shit, I don't even know what we're gonna get. But how hard is it to prepare for a team week one that you don't know much about, especially since they've been going through so much changes and everything? But talk about preparing for a team you don't really know much about week one.
I feel like we just gotta do our base stuff right. If we do our stuff 110% correct and the right way, and we play the right way on offense, defense, special teams, like all three phases of the game, I feel like honestly, whoever we play will be fine as long as we just keep playing Barcelona Dragons football.
Most definitely. Well, I hope you leave the Barcelona Dragons football team in Barcelona this weekend, and then we'll talk going forward. Hey, you guys got a little surprise this past weekend. The team was rewarded some J's, some ones. It looks like.
Yeah.
Talk a little bit about that. What was behind that? Did you know it was coming? I don't think any team in the ELF has ever gotten team cleats, and the fact that these are J's just speaks to maybe new things and better things to come in the future, management-wise. But talk a little about Barcelona rocking Team J's this year.
Oh yeah, our owner Jason Robinson and Brandon Smith did a great job at like mentioning it to us earlier in the year, like before we got here and everything. Like, so just honestly seeing that, it motivates everybody. You feel me? Like everything, like for the Americans, it's like we went to college, we got some gear, but like
that was normal. That was normal in America. Or in Europe, that's unheard of.
Definitely, and I felt like it was really a great thing that they were able to get that contract through, get that for us, including the homegrown guys too. Because I just felt like that motivate anybody to play. That still motivates us to play, the Americans. So I feel like that was a great thing that they did for us. And honestly, that was the best thing. That was the best thing for us. To be honest, I feel like.
Yeah, it definitely changes everything in terms of like, okay, like this is real. Like, morale's different, trust is different, right?
Like they got those for us. Now let's play our heart out.
You start looking at things different. Like, okay, like maybe things are changing in Barcelona. So that's dope, man. That's dope.
Especially for the guys that's been here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Most definitely. Hey, before we close this thing out, what have you enjoyed about living in Barcelona since signing? One, and two, what's your message to that wonderful, amazing, one of my favorite fan bases in the European League of Football, the Dragon fan bases? What will be your message to them heading into this season?
I feel like get ready for a hard-fought team every single weekend, day in and day out. We've been getting ready, and we aren't playing for clicks. It sounds cliche, but you feel like we're not here for that. We're there to go 1-0 every weekend, play our hardest, and just dominate every time we have the chance to go on that field on Sunday. Saturday and Sunday.
Most definitely.
And Barcelona in general.
Yeah, talk about one of my favorite cities in Europe. Tell me how it's been so far.
I don't know if I'm gonna say this right, but the paellas.
Yeah,
amazing.
paella.
Yeah, I love the food out here. Just the overall vibe out here. I feel like everything's really nice. Everything's really safe, clean, and I feel like just the city in general is great.
Yeah.
Yeah, love it.
Yeah, Barcelona's one of a kind. Great food, great paella. The home of sangria, all that good stuff. But
definitely.
Hey, man, as I mentioned before, we're getting closer and closer to opening week in the ELF. I wanted to get my guy Dominque Shelton on. Welcome him back to the league. Welcome him on base coverage. Not rooting for him this weekend, as he knows, but he knows it's all love there. But hey, brother, I appreciate you coming on, man.
Yeah, I appreciate you for having me on, man. I appreciate it, really.
Most definitely. And tune in, subscribe to the channel, but tune in Friday. It's the week 1 pregame show for the European League of Football, where we start making some picks, talk a little about these games, and we got to kick everything off. So thank you all for tuning in. Neek, I'll talk to you soon, brother. Take care, man.
Of course. Talk to you after Sunday.
Most
Yes,
definitely.
Sir.
Nobody, hard work, they don't know about it. Hard work, they don't know about it. Hard work, they don't know about it.